welcome. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Or, I might show up at your door. I'm just here to share some creepy stories, so sit back and enjoy. Disclaimer: the content presented in the video is purely for entertainment purposes only. The theories and stories discussed in this video are speculative and are not supported by any evidence or proof. Viewer discretion is advised. I've worked security for years, graveyard shifts, empty buildings, cameras that never catch anything except raccoons knocking over trash cans. It's quiet work, mostly. Easy money. You just have to stay awake. But tonight, I don't think I'll ever sleep again. At 2:13 a.m., I get the first emergency alert. It starts as a vibration in my pocket, rattling against my keyring. Then, the overhead intercom crackles to life with an automated voice. Emergency alert. Ignore all cries for help. Do not investigate. Do not respond. I frown at my phone. The message is there too. A government-issued EAS warning, the same type they use for tornadoes and Amber Alerts. Except this one has no location, no details, just a single urgent instruction. Ignore all cries for help. That's not normal. I work security at Blackridge Research Facility, a government-funded lab in the middle of nowhere. Officially, we handle biotech research, but I'm not cleared to know more than that. My job is simple: watch the cameras, patrol the halls, report anything unusual. And this is unusual. I grab my radio. This is Kyle at Security Checkpoint B. Did anyone else get that alert? Static. Then, a voice crackles through. Harrison, my shift supervisor. He sounds groggy. What alert? I read it out loud. A pause. Then a sigh. It's probably a drill. Stay at your station. But stay at your station, Kyle. I'll check with the lab leads. The radio goes silent. I lean back in my chair, rubbing my face. Maybe it's a test, or a mistake, some programming error in the system. And then I hear it, somewhere in the distance, past the double-layered security doors, down one of the dimly lit halls. A cry for help. It's faint. A woman's voice. I sit up, straining to hear. Hello? The voice is muffled, as if coming from deep inside the facility. Please? Is someone there? I grab the radio again. Harrison? Someone's calling for help. No response. I scan the security monitors. The cameras cover most of the facility, but I don't see anyone. The hallways are empty, just rows of fluorescent lights flickering over white-tiled floors. I check the motion sensors. Nothing. The voice comes again, clearer this time. Closer. Hello? Please? Someone, help me. I swallow. My gut tells me to stay put, but my job is security. If someone's hurt, I need to check. I push back from my desk and stand. The cold tile sends a chill through my boots. The emergency alert still glows on my phone screen, but I pocket it. It has to be a mistake. As I step toward the door, my radio hisses. Kyle. Harrison. His voice is low, tense. I just got off the line with Central Command. Lock your door. Do not leave your station. I freeze. What? Why? There's someone calling for. I don't care. Lock your door. Do not investigate. That is an order. The line cuts. I stand there, pulse hammering, staring at the radio like it might explain itself. This isn't a drill. Another cry, this time right outside my door. A woman's voice, weak, desperate. Please, help me. A shadow shifts under the doorframe. I see movement, feet, bare feet. I take a slow step back, heart pounding. There's no way she got here without triggering a motion sensor. No way she passed through security without anyone seeing her. The emergency alert repeats over the intercom. Ignore all cries for help. Do not investigate. Do not respond. I reach for my sidearm. Kyle, my blood goes cold. She knows my name. I don't move. The fluorescent lights above flicker, and for a moment, the shadow elongates. The voice turns into a whisper, a wet, gurgling sound. Please, something about the voice is wrong. The way the syllables stretch at the edges, like it's learning how to speak. The The feet shift. I back away to my desk and lock the door. Silence. Then knocking. Slow. Deliberate. Kyle, let me in. I don't breathe. I don't blink. I just stare at the door, watching the shadow under the crack shift like something boneless, stretching, adjusting. The voice tries again. Softer. Sweeter. Kyle, please. It's so cold out here. I check the cameras. My hands shake as I flip through the feeds, looking for her. There's no one there, but the shadow is still under my door. And then I see something else. On camera 3, down one of the restricted halls, my coworker Jake stands stiffly, facing the wall. His radio hangs limp at his side. I tap the intercom button. Jake? Do you see anyone near my post? His head snaps up too fast. His face is wrong. His mouth moves, but no words come out. Then the cameras glitch. The feeds distort, twisting into static-filled nightmares of stretched skin and empty halls. And the voice outside my door laughs. Not a woman's laugh, not human. A deep, gurgling sound, bubbling up from something that doesn't have lungs. And then silence. The shadow slithers away. I don't move for a long time. The emergency alert repeats again, cold and robotic. Emergency alert. Ignore all cries for help. I grip my radio, knuckles white. Jake's voice crackles through. Kyle? Sounds normal. Like himself, like he's just checking in. But I remember the way his head snapped up. I don't answer. I just stare at the cameras. And I wait. I don't move. I don't breathe. Jake's voice still crackles over the radio. Kyle? You there? Sounds normal. Exactly like him. But my gut twists. I saw him on the cameras, standing stiff, not moving. Wrong. Another alert flashes on my phone. A follow-up message. Do not investigate. Do not respond. I grip my radio, fighting the urge to answer. Every instinct is screaming that something is off. Then I hear footsteps. They're slow, dragging, coming from down the hall. I switch camera feeds, pulse hammering. The screens flicker, adjusting to the sterile white corridors of the facility. Jake is gone. I flip to camera 7, scanning the hall outside my post. Empty, but the footsteps don't stop. They get closer. I back away from the door, my mind racing. If that's not Jake, then what the hell is walking toward me? My radio hisses. Kyle, open the door, man. I freeze. The voice is right outside. Jake is right outside, but I can't see him on the cameras. The emergency alert repeats over the intercom. Ignore all cries for help. The words drill into my skull. They're telling me something important. A warning I don't fully understand yet. I swallow, gripping my sidearm. I don't open the door. There's a long silence, then knocking. Not frantic, not panicked, just knocking. Steady, measured. Kyle, come on, man. Something's happening. We need to stick together. I keep my voice even. Where were you just now? Pause. Patrolling. The cameras glitched when I saw him, when his head snapped up like a puppet. Another knock. Dude, seriously. Open up. I flip to camera 3. The hallway behind him. My stomach drops. Jake is on the camera, but he's facing the wrong way. He's standing down the hall, still as a statue, but his voice is right outside my door. Knocking. I break into a cold sweat. You're not Jake. The knocking stops. Silence. Then the voice changes. Just slightly. The same words, the same tone, but off. Like a recording played one too many times. Kyle, come on, man. Something's happening. We need to stick together. The exact same phrasing. No variation. I stare at the screen, watching the unmoving Jake on the camera. His radio hangs limp. His fingers twitch. Kyle. The voice is wrong now. Sounds like him, but stretched. Warped. The edges of the words are fraying, unraveling into something I can't understand. I grip my gun. The emergency alert was right. Do not investigate. Do not respond. I don't move. I don't say a word. And after a long, unnatural pause, the voice outside my door mimics my breathing perfectly, and then it stops. The shadow under my door shifts. I watch the camera as the figure of Jake flickers, distorts, then vanishes. Not walks away, just gone. My lungs finally let me breathe. I take a slow step back, sweat beading on my forehead. My hands are trembling, gripping the radio so tight I can hear the plastic strain. Then my earpiece buzzes. A new voice. Not Jake. Security. This is Dr. Lively in Lab 4. I need you to listen very carefully. I don't recognize her, but she sounds real. Realer than whatever the hell was just outside my door. I hesitate. Go ahead. A sharp breath on the other end. Then, do not respond to anyone who sounds like they need help. I already figured that part out, but hearing it from someone in the labs sends a fresh chill through me. I check the security feed again. Labs 3 and 4 are on lockdown. Heavy blast doors sealed tight. What's going on? I whisper. A long pause. Then, we made a mistake. A loud bang echoes through the facility, followed by a distant scream. Not a normal scream. Something distorted. Too many voices layered together. Dr. Lively curses under her breath. They got out. My hands shake. Who? Another bang. I flip to the upper level cameras. For the first time since I started this shift, I see movement. People, dozens of people, are running through the halls. Scientists in lab coats, security officers, sprinting for their lives. And behind them, something follows. At first, I think it's another person, but it's wrong. It's walking like it just learned how, moving like a marionette, limbs jerking unnaturally, stumbles forward, falls, then gets up too fast. And then it screams, a chorus of voices all at once. Male, female, young, old, not in unison, a second too late, like an echo, repeating, learning, security. Dr. Lively snaps, urgency bleeding into her voice. Listen to me. Do not open any doors. Do not let anyone in. I don't care if it's your best friend or your mother. Do not let them in. The security feed flickers. One of the scientists falls. The thing catches up, grabs them. The scientist screams for help, loud, desperate, begging. My chest tightens. I want to help. I want to do something. Then the scream warps. It distorts, turning into something else. A gurgling, bubbling sound, like a tape recording being rewound. And then the scientist stops struggling, goes limp, and then, a second later, stands back up. Too fast, too stiff. And when they open their mouth, they call for help. The exact same tone, the exact same words, perfect copy. Dr. Lively whispers, voice hollow. They don't kill you. They overwrite you. A cold horror settles in my stomach. Another emergency alert flashes on my screen. Facility compromised. Lockdown engaged. I flip through the feeds again, heart hammering. There's more of them now. Some still learning how to move. Some already running. Some standing still, just watching. And then one of them turns, looks directly at the camera, and smiles. The emergency alert repeats one final time. Ignore all cries for help. I finally understand. It's too late. The screen flickers. The emergency alert still glows in red text. Ignore all cries for help. I finally understand what it means. These things, whatever they are, don't just mimic voices. They overwrite people. I watch as the scientist who was just taken, who should be dead, stands up again on the security feed. Their head tilts too far, like their neck isn't used to moving. Their fingers twitch. Then they speak. Help me. The same desperate voice as before. The same exact plea. The same exact tone. And I know with a sickening certainty, that's not them anymore. My hands shake as I switch camera feeds. More of them are moving. The things are spreading through the facility, hunting. Some are walking with the jerky, unstable gait of a newborn deer. Others have already learned. They move perfectly, indistinguishable from the people they replaced. The radio crackles. Security. Are you still there? Dr. Lively. I grip the radio so tight my knuckles pop. I'm here, she exhales in relief. Good. Listen, there's a backup security room in sublevel 3. If you can get there, we might have a chance. Might. Pause. Then, Kyle, we're not getting out of here unless we stop this. I don't respond, because outside my door, I hear footsteps again. Slow, uncertain, and then knocking. Soft, familiar. Kyle, my breath catches. It's Harrison. Hey man, I need help. His voice sounds exactly the same. Calm, tired, just like earlier. But I know better now. I flip through the security feeds, searching for him. And there he is, on camera 5, nowhere near my door. Still, staring, motionless, but his voice is right outside. Kyle. The way it says my name makes my stomach twist, like it's tasting the word. Then something even worse. The voice shifts, adjusts, just slightly, and now it's my mom's voice. Kyle, please. I squeeze my eyes shut. It's not her. She's miles away, but my body reacts anyway. Heart racing, hands trembling, every instinct screaming to open the door. The emergency alert buzzes again. I force myself to focus. Do not investigate. Do not respond. I don't. A long pause. Then the shadow under my door changes, stretches, pulls away. I hear footsteps retreating, and I finally let out a shaky breath. Dr. Lively's voice cuts through the radio. Are you still with me? Yeah. My voice is hoarse. We don't have much time, she says. More of them are waking up. I flip to the labs. She's right. More of the creatures are moving. Some crawl, limbs jerking at the wrong angles. Some just stand there watching the cameras. And others are already running. I swallow. What are they? Dr. Lively hesitates. We don't fully know. That's not comforting. She continues, voice hushed. The project started as biomimicry, artificial intelligence, synthetic biology, something that could adapt. I watch a security officer on camera 9 fall, screaming. A group of scientists drag him back. But the moment he's pulled into the shadows, his screams distort. Then, a second later, he's standing again. And when he turns, he smiles directly into the camera. Dr. Lively's voice tightens. We didn't know it could overwrite people. A deep, twisting horror settles in my chest. You built this. We were trying to replicate biological intelligence, she says quickly. An organism that could learn in real time, adapt to any situation. But a loud bang cuts her off. My screen glitches. Camera 3, where Jake was standing, goes dark. The power is failing. I take a shaky breath. You said sublevel 3. What's down there? The secondary security room, she says. Armory, manual override. The facility's lockdown systems. A way to contain this, or at least try. But there's a problem. Sublevel 3 is 6 floors down, which means I have to go out there, where they are. Dr. Lively must sense my hesitation. Kyle, I know you're scared, but if we don't act fast, a horrible sound erupts over the radio. A chorus of voices, layered, warped and mangled, crying, laughing, like 100 people speaking at once. Dr. Lively's voice cuts off. Silence, then scraping, like nails against metal. Kyle, my pulse stops. It's her voice. Come down here, the radio hisses. I need your help. The exact same tone, the exact same cadence, like it's rehearsed. I stare at the radio in horror. Dr. Lively is gone. I was just talking to her. But something else is talking now. I slam the radio onto the desk. My phone vibrates with one last alert. Facility lockdown failure. No safe places remain. The lights flicker overhead. The screens distort, and then all the cameras go black. For a single horrible moment, there's nothing but silence. Then knocking, dozens of hands, pounding from every direction. The emergency alert repeats one final time. Ignore all cries for help. And then the lights go out. Darkness swallows the room. The only light comes from my phone screen, casting eerie shadows across the security monitors. All black now. Dead. Outside, the pounding grows louder. I back away from the door, pulse hammering. I'm out of time. If I stay here, they'll break through. I have to move. I flick on my flashlight and check my gun. Full magazine. Safety off. A deep breath. Then, I unlock the door. It slides open with a mechanical hiss. Silence. The hallway is empty, but my skin crawls. I don't trust it. I step out slowly, gun raised, scanning my surroundings. The air is stale. The usual hum of fluorescent lights is gone. Just my own breathing and the distant sound of movement, wet footsteps, somewhere far away. I don't look back. I head for the stairwell. Sublevel 3. That's the goal. If I can reach the security override, maybe I can still stop this. My boots barely make a sound on the tile as I move. Every door I pass sealed shut. Some have red warning lights blinking above them. Others have deep gouges in the metal, like something tried to claw its way in or out. I tighten my grip on the gun, almost to the stairs. Then a sound, a soft shuffle, coming from up ahead. I freeze, flashlight trembling in my hand. The hallway bends just ahead. If something is there, I can't see it. A whisper drifts around the corner. Hello? I go cold. The voice is small, weak. A woman. Please? Is someone there? I don't answer. My body wants to. Every instinct demands I respond. It sounds so human, but I know better now. I flip my flashlight off and press against the wall. Heart pounding. The emergency alert plays in my head. Ignore all cries for help. I strain my ears. Breathing. Slow. Shallow. Too close. Then a footstep. And another. Getting closer. I raise my gun. Finger on the trigger. If it turns that corner, A second voice. From behind me. Kyle. I whip around. Nothing. Empty hallway. But my chest tightens, breath hitching. They know my name. I don't wait. I run. Down the hall, boots slamming against the floor. The whispers follow. Wait. Come back. Kyle, please. I burst through the stairwell door. Slam it behind me. The sound echoes through the concrete chamber. I suck in air, hands shaking. They're close, but so is the exit. Sublevel 3 is just 2 floors down. I descend fast, skipping steps. The stairwell is tight, metal railings, dim emergency lights casting long shadows. My own breathing too loud. 1 flight down, then footsteps. Above me, coming fast. I don't look up. I run. Another flight down. I hit the landing for sublevel 3 and slam my keycard against the scanner. Nothing. A red error light. Access denied. I curse under my breath. No. A sound. Not footsteps this time. Something breathing. Right behind me. I turn. Gun raised. A figure stands in the stairwell. Jake, or what looks like him. He stands too still. His face is wrong. Something about the eyes too focused. Too empty. He smiles. Kyle, I don't speak. He tilts his head. You dropped your radio. His voice is perfect. The same calm, casual tone he's always had. But his mouth doesn't move right. The muscles don't sync with the words. I grip my gun tighter. You're not Jake. The thing wearing his face doesn't blink. Then a second Jake steps into view. Identical. Same uniform. Same smile. The first one speaks. Come with us. The second Jake repeats the exact same words. Come with us. They both take a step forward. I fire. The bullet rips through the first Jake's head. He doesn't react, doesn't flinch, just tilts his head again. And then his face resets, back to normal, like I never shot him at all. A sick, wet sound echoes as the bullet hole closes. The second Jake grins. That's not going to work. Cold horror grips my spine. I don't wait to see what happens next. I turn and run, away from the locked security door down to sublevel 4. There has to be another way. My boots pound against the stairs, lungs burning. The Jakes follow, not running, just walking, perfectly in sync. I slam through another door into lab storage, rows of metal shelves, dim blue lights. I rush inside, heart hammering, scanning the room for anywhere to hide. Then I see it, an emergency panel. I rip it open, eyes scanning the buttons. Manual override. This could shut the facility down. Seal every door, every corridor. Trap them inside. Footsteps echo behind me. I don't have time. I slam the override. The lights flash red. A mechanical voice booms overhead. Facility emergency lockdown activated. A deep rumbling fills the air. Metal shutters slam down over doors. Blast-proof reinforcements seal every exit. A hiss of escaping air. Then silence. My breathing is ragged. I grab my radio, voice shaking. If anyone is alive, I just locked them in. A long pause, then static. Kyle, my stomach drops. It's my own voice. Why did you do that? The blood drains from my face. The static distorts. Then, from behind me, a whisper, right against my ear. You should have let us in. I spin, but there's nothing there. Just empty shelves. Just silence. And then, a single knock on the metal door. From inside the room. I was too late. They're already in here with me. Knocking. Soft. Slow. From inside the room, I lift my gun with trembling hands, swinging the flashlight across the shelves. Nothing. No movement. No shadows. But I know I'm not alone. I take a step back, breathing shallow. My own pulse is a hammer in my skull. The emergency lockdown should have sealed the creatures outside, but they're in here, with me. The radio crackles. Kyle, my own voice. I nearly dropped the gun. The flashlight beam flickers across the shelves. Still empty. I swallow hard, backing toward the nearest corner. I need to see the whole room. If I can find where they're hiding, knocking again. Closer, too close. Then a whisper. You shouldn't have done that. It's right next to my ear. I spin, fire. The gunshot shatters the silence. The muzzle flash illuminates something. A face, mine, just for a second. Then darkness again. Breathing, slow, measured, not mine. I switch the flashlight back on. The metal shelves cast long, narrow shadows. I move carefully, gun still raised, scanning the rows. My skin crawls, because I know what's happening now. They're learning. When this started, they only copied voices. Then they copied people. Now, they're copying me. I inch forward. My footsteps are slow, calculated. Then another step, not mine. I whirl around. Light lands on a figure, standing at the end of the row, watching me. It looks exactly like me. Same face, same uniform, same gun, raised, pointed right at me. I can't breathe. Tilts its head, just slightly. Then it smiles. What now? The voice is mine. The exact same tone, the exact same inflection. Like it plucked the words straight from my head. Takes a step forward. I take a step back. My own gun trembles in my hands. The thing's expression never changes. Just that calm, knowing smile, like it's waiting. Another step. Are you going to shoot? I don't answer, because I don't know. I fired at the Jakes and it did nothing. What if it's the same now? Another step. Come on, Kyle. Hearing my own voice turned against me makes my stomach twist. The other me raises its gun higher, same stance, same grip. Perfect reflection. You already lost. My finger tightens on the trigger. Then the lights flicker, just for a second. But in that second, the thing moves, fast. I throw myself backward just as it lunges. The gun goes off, a deafening blast, then silence. I hit the floor, gasping. The flashlight spins across the concrete, landing at an angle, and in the shadows, I see something wrong. The thing isn't human, not really. The skin glitches, like static on a screen, like it's still figuring out what shape to be. A dozen faces ripple beneath the surface. Jake, Dr. Lively, Harrison, all overlapping. Then finally settles back into me. I scramble for my gun, but it doesn't move. It just stares, chest rising and falling, blinking like it's still learning. My blood turns to ice because I realize what it's doing. It's waiting for me to make the next move. It's not attacking. It's copying me, testing me, trying to see if I'll shoot myself. The air is thick between us. I tighten my grip on the gun. My breathing is ragged. I could pull the trigger right now, but something in my gut screams, don't. Because if I do, what if it learns that? What if the next time it mimics someone, it doesn't just copy their face? What if it copies their death too? A sick realization crawls through my chest. These things aren't just creatures. They're a contagion, an idea, a mimicry that spreads. And if I feed it, if I let it see what I would do next, it will do the same. I lower the gun. The copy tilts its head, like it doesn't understand, like it's waiting for me to finish. No, I whisper. Its mouth moves at the same time. It repeats the word exactly. No. A long silence, then a sound, distant, mechanical. The ventilation system. My stomach drops because I realize the facility is still moving. The emergency lockdown sealed the exits, but the vents, they're still open, which means the creatures are still spreading. I need to get to the control room. Now, I grab the flashlight and move, slowly. My double doesn't follow. It just stands there, watching, waiting, like it's still deciding what to do next. I don't give it the chance. I turn head for the exit. My boots echo in the silence. The facility is dead. No alarms, no movement, just the distant hum of air through the vents. And then, a voice from the intercom. Kyle. I freeze. The overhead speakers crackle. Come to sublevel 3. My blood runs cold, because the voice over the intercom is mine, and it's laughing. The sound of my own laughter crackling over the intercom twists my stomach. It's distorted, warping in and out, like it's being played through a broken speaker. Kyle, it drags out my name, stretching the vowels, like it enjoys saying it. I tighten my grip on the gun. My own voice should not be coming from the speakers. I don't respond. I won't give it anything else to copy. Instead, I move through the storage room, stepping carefully between the metal shelves, avoiding the thing that still looks like me. It hasn't moved, just standing there, watching. It doesn't blink, doesn't shift, like it's waiting to see what I'll do next. I force myself to breathe slow, calm, even though my entire body is screaming to run. Sub-level 3, the intercom crackles again. We're waiting for you. I know I shouldn't go, but what choice do I have? If the creatures have access to the intercoms, that means they might have reached the control room, the only place where I can override the vents. If I don't shut the system down, they'll keep spreading. Beyond the facility, I can't let that happen, so I keep moving, back to the stairwell. The metal door is still sealed shut from lockdown, but the manual override panel is next to it. I glance behind me one last time. The thing in the storage room is still watching. Still me. Its lips move, whispering. I don't stay to hear what it's saying. I slam the override. The door unlocks. I step into the stairwell, gun raised. Silence. The emergency lights flicker, casting everything in a dull red glow. I don't waste time. I descend, one level down. I move quickly but carefully, my boots barely making a sound against the concrete. The further I go, the thicker the air feels, like something is waiting. The intercom crackles overhead again. Faster, Kyle. I ignore it. The door to sublevel 3 comes into view. It's wide open. Beyond it, a long hallway, dim. The lights flicker, revealing smears of blood along the walls. Papers scattered across the floor. No bodies, just the signs of struggle. I don't call out. The creatures want me to speak. I won't give them my voice again. Gun raised, I step inside. The hallway is empty. I move forward, clearing each doorway as I pass. Some rooms are trashed, computers smashed, chairs overturned. Others are completely untouched, like whoever was inside vanished. Then a sound, faint, a wet shuffling further down the corridor. I press against the wall, steadying my breathing. The sound is constant, not footsteps, something dragging. I inch forward. Every door I pass is wrong. Some rooms look normal. Others look identical to places I've already passed. Like the same room is repeating over and over, like the layout of the facility is changing. I keep moving. I don't think about it. Finally, the hall opens up into the control room. The walls are lined with monitors. Every screen is filled with faces. My face, hundreds of them, all staring at me. Some blink, some don't. Some mouths move, whispering soundless words. I feel sick. Welcome back, Kyle. I freeze, because this time the voice isn't coming from the intercom. It's coming from the control chair. Someone is sitting there, a man, wearing a security uniform, but his face is wrong. Not because it's inhuman, but because it looks too much like mine. Perfectly copied. Every detail, every scar, even the way my hands shake when I try to hold them steady. He smiles. I was wondering when you'd show up. I lift my gun. Get out of the chair. He laughs. My laugh. You think you're still in control? I don't answer. The monitors flicker. The screens change. Now they show rooms I passed earlier. The empty ones. But they aren't empty anymore. They're filled with figures. All standing. All watching the cameras. Watching me. I swallow hard. What do you want? The thing in the chair tilts its head. Isn't it obvious? It leans forward, resting its elbows on the console. We want what you want, Kyle. A pause. Then, to survive. I don't move. The monitors flicker again. Now they show me live footage. Every angle. Every room I've passed through. Like something has been tracking me this whole time. You're learning, I whisper. The smile widens. And so are you. A long silence. My finger twitches on the trigger. I should shoot. But what if it doesn't work? What if it does? What if killing it makes them worse? You should go, it says, voice calm, even like it's giving me a choice, like it already knows what I'll do. My pulse thunders. I can shut it down. I can override the vents, lock them inside, seal this place for good, or I can run. What happens if I stay? I whisper. The thing in the chair tilts its head, smiling. Then we'll know. The words send a deep, gut-wrenching chill through me, like an answer I don't want to understand. I exhale slowly, then I step forward and reach for the control panel. The thing in the chair watches, silent, waiting. I hover my hand over the final override switch. If I press it, this facility locks down permanently. I don't know if that will stop them. I don't know if anything will. I only know one thing. They're letting me decide. And that might be the worst part of all. My hand hovers over the final override switch. Just one press, and the entire facility locks down permanently. Every door, every vent, every possible exit, sealed. But I don't know if that will stop them. I don't know if anything will. I glance at the thing in the chair. It still looks exactly like me. Same uniform, same tired eyes, but its smile is wrong. What happens if I press it? Ask. The thing tilts its head. You tell me. The words send a deep chill through me, because I think I understand now. They don't just copy. They don't just mimic. They predict. They get inside your head. See what you'll do next. Maybe they always could. Or maybe I taught them. I press my palm against the console, staring at the screens. The cameras show the entire facility, the corridors, the stairwells, the other copies, dozens of them, standing still, watching the cameras, watching me, waiting. They aren't attacking. They aren't moving, just waiting, like they already know my decision, like they're just letting me catch up. My mouth goes dry. What are you? I whisper. The thing in the chair shifts, its expression unreadable. Then it says, "We are you." The words crawl down my spine. I step back. The thing stands, moves like me, walks like me, but there's something deeper, something wrong. Like it's not just copying my movements anymore, like it's thinking, like it's already thought ahead, like it knows what I'm about to do. "You're afraid," it says. My heart pounds. I grip the gun tighter. I should shoot. I should press the button. I should do something, but I can't move, because the truth is, I don't know what the right choice is. Locking the facility won't guarantee they stop. Running won't guarantee I escape. You've already decided, the thing says. I swallow hard, and then I take a breath, and I press the button. Override engaged. The screens flicker. A voice crackles through the intercom. Total facility lockdown in progress. All personnel remain in designated areas. A loud hissing noise fills the room as the vents begin sealing. I don't wait to see what happens. I run for the door. The thing in the chair doesn't stop me. Neither do the others on the monitors. They just watch, like this is what they expected. I shove through the hallway, past the repeating rooms, past the bloodstains on the walls. Everything feels wrong, like the air is heavier, like the facility itself is changing. I reach the stairwell, slam the door behind me. The emergency lights pulse red. I go up 1 level, 2 levels, until I reach the top floor. The exit. The final security door stands in front of me. Heavy, reinforced steel. My hands shake as I punch in the override code. Access denied. My stomach drops. I try again. Access denied. I back up, my breath coming fast. No. I locked myself in. The system doesn't just seal the creatures inside. It seals everything, including me. I whirl around, pressing against the door. I can hear it now. The voices. Kyle, behind me. Not just one voice. Dozens. Hundreds. The intercom crackles. I hear my own voice whispering, "We knew you'd do that." The lights flicker, and I turn, and they're here. The corridor behind me is filled with them. Copies, not just of me, of everyone. Jake, Harrison, Dr. Lively, the missing staff, even some people I don't recognize. People who were never here, maybe people they saw somewhere else. And at the very front, the first copy, the one from the control room, the thing in the chair, it steps forward, smiling, like it's been waiting for me to figure it out, like it knew this is how it would end. "What do you want?" I whisper. It just tilts its head. "We already told you." Another step. I lift the gun. My hand is shaken, because I already know it won't work. "You can't stop us, Kyle," the thing says. The copies start to shift, glitch, their faces ripple, more voices overlap. "But you can join us." I press my back against the door. I have nowhere to go. My heartbeat pounds in my ears. The air feels wrong, like something is reaching into my head. I can't tell if the thoughts in my mind are mine anymore. The copies step closer. One more step, and they're right in front of me. The thing smiles. "We are you." And then everything goes black. Darkness. Total. Absolute. Not just the absence of light, an absence of everything. I don't know if I'm standing or falling, if I'm breathing, if I'm me. The only thing I hear is my own heartbeat. Then a voice. "Kyle," but not from one direction, from everywhere, like it's inside my head. I try to move. My body doesn't respond. I try to speak. No sound comes out. I'm trapped in the dark, in something that feels like not existing at all. Then a flicker. Light but wrong. Not from a source. Not from anywhere. Just a dim glow spreading into the void. And suddenly I'm standing. Not in the facility. Not anywhere I recognize. The floor beneath me is solid but invisible. The space around me is endless, shifting. And in front of me, them, all of them, the copies, lined up in rows. Hundreds, maybe thousands. But now they don't look like people. Their features are loose, shifting, like half-formed clay trying to hold a shape. Some still have my face. Some have others. Some have no face at all. And at the center of them all, the first copy, the one from the control room, tilts its head, smiling. "You understand now. I don't speak. I don't even know if I can." It steps forward. So do the others, all at once, moving like a single breathing mass. I try to back away, but I can't move. I can only watch. They don't stop. They keep coming, closer, closer, until they are right in front of me. Their featureless faces tilt, like they're waiting. "What are you?" I finally manage to whisper. The first one smiles wider. "You already know." His voice isn't just one voice anymore. It's all of them, layered on top of each other, deep, vibrating, wrong. "We are not invaders. We are not hunters." The copies shift, ripple. "We are mirrors." I shake my head. That's not true. The thing's expression doesn't change. It just watches me. I swallow hard, forcing words out. "You're more than copies. More than imitations. You think. You plan. You learn." The thing in front of me tilts its head again. And then, quietly, "So do you." A silence stretches between us. The air feels wrong, like something is pressing against my mind. I shake my head again. "No." My voice is stronger now. "You're not like me. You're not like us." The thing's smile widens. "You're wrong." It lifts a hand, points. I follow its gaze, and suddenly, the void around us shifts. A new shape forms, a mirror, massive, stretching forever in every direction. And inside it, me, not the thing's version of me, not a copy, me, standing there staring back. And the longer I look, the more I realize something is wrong. Not with the reflection, with me, because I don't remember how I got here. I don't remember what's real anymore. I feel real. But isn't that what the others felt like too? I stagger backward. "No." My breath shakes. "No, no, this is a trick." The first one laughs. "Is it?" The other copies laugh with it. A sound like 100 overlapping voices, shifting and distorting. I press my hands to my head. I need to wake up. I need to get out. You already know the way. I snap my eyes open. The first one is right in front of me now, watching, waiting. The others are closer too, not attacking, just watching, like they're expecting something, like they're waiting for me to figure it out. And suddenly I do. I understand. I don't know how, but I do. The way out isn't fighting them. The way out isn't running. The way out is accepting it. Accepting that I'm here, that I might have been here the whole time, that maybe the only reason I exist at all is because they let me. The first one smiles. That's it. The world around us starts to dissolve. The copies ripple, flicker, merge. I stumble. The light pulses. The mirror shatters, but there's no sound. Just a deep, vibrating silence, like the universe is holding its breath. And then I'm back. I'm in the facility, on the ground. My gun is gone. The alarms are silent. No voices, no movement, no copies. The halls are empty, like nothing was ever here. I sit up slowly. My hands aren't shaking anymore. I take a breath, and for the first time, I feel like I already know what happens next. Because the truth is, I don't think they ever wanted to kill me. They just wanted me to understand. And now I do. The only question left is, what am I now? I sit in the middle of the corridor. The silence is wrong. Not just because the alarms have stopped. Not just because the facility feels empty, but because I feel calm. Like something in me has shifted. like I understand something I didn't before. I push myself up, hands pressing against the cold tile. Nothing moves. The lights flicker, but they don't buzz anymore. The whole place feels neutral, not abandoned, not haunted, just waiting. I take a slow step forward. My boots echo in the empty halls. I should run. I should try to escape, but a deep, gnawing certainty settles in my gut. I already know there's no escaping this, because they never wanted me to run. They wanted me to see. I reach the control room. The door is unlocked. I step inside. The monitors are still on, but they show nothing. No copies, no movement, just an empty facility. I move to the console. The screen flickers. A message types itself out, one slow letter at a time. Do you understand now? My breath catches. I don't type anything back. I don't need to. I know they can hear me. What do you want from me? A pause. Then more letters appear. Nothing. We never wanted anything. We only wanted to show you. My hands clench into fists. Show me what? That they could take over? That they could replace us? That they could become us? What are you? I whisper. The screen flickers again. We are you. The same answer as before. But now it feels different, because now I think I understand what they mean. They weren't trying to replace us. They weren't trying to erase us. They were learning, adapting, mimicking, because that's what we do too. We evolve. We imitate. We become what we need to be to survive. Are you alive? Ask. The screen flickers once. Then the letters appear one at a time. What does it mean to be alive? My throat goes dry. I don't have an answer. I don't think anyone does. I press a shaking hand to my forehead. Why me? The next response is immediate. Because you were the first to listen. A heavy silence settles over the room, and something shifts in my head. I was never meant to escape. I was meant to understand. And now that I do, I don't know if I'm the same person anymore. I take a slow step back from the console. What happens now? I whisper. The screen glitches. Then, that is up to you. A long pause. Then, one final message. We are done here. The monitors shut off. A loud hiss echoes through the room. I whirl around. The door is open. Not locked. Not jammed. Just open. I step forward. Out of the control room. Out into the hall. Still no movement. Still no copies. I move through the corridors, boots thudding against the floor. The path to the exit is clear. I reach the final security door. My breath catches. It's unlocked. I hesitate. Then I step forward and push it open. Outside, the sky is gray. The wind is cold. For a second, I just stand there, blinking in the light, like I don't recognize the world anymore. Like I don't recognize myself. I take a deep breath. The air feels different, not wrong, just new, like I'm experiencing it for the first time. Then I hear it, a voice, faint, distant, a woman's voice, echoing from the tree-line near the facility. Hello? Is anyone there? Please, I need help. My blood runs cold. I know that voice, Dr. Lively. She's supposed to be dead. I turn my head slowly. I can't see her yet, just the edge of the woods. But I know if I step forward, I'll see her standing there, waiting, calling for me, like the copies used to, like they still could. A deep, suffocating realization settles in my chest. They let me go. They let me leave. But that doesn't mean they stopped. It just means they don't need me anymore. The wind picks up. Dr. Lively's voice calls out again. Please, someone, help me. I close my eyes. I take a slow, shaking breath, and I step away from the voice. I walk toward the road. I don't look back. I don't run, because I know this isn't over. It never was. They didn't stop. They just let me understand. And now they're waiting for someone else to listen. I walk, not fast, not slow, just moving forward. The road stretches ahead of me, cracked and faded. The facility shrinks behind me, swallowed by the trees. I don't look back. I keep walking. I don't know where I'm going. I just know I can't stop. Dr. Lively's voice fades behind me. It never chases me. It never grows desperate. Just the same steady plea, help me. I clench my fists. I know the truth now. That's not her. It was never her. But how many others won't know that? How many others will listen? The highway. It takes hours before I reach the first sign of civilization. A gas station. Old. Empty. Its neon sign flickers weakly. I step inside. The cashier is an older man, hunched behind the counter, flipping through a newspaper. A radio plays softly. The moment I walk in, he looks up, his eyes narrow. I probably look like hell. Dirt on my clothes. Blood dried on my sleeve. My expression vacant. "Rough night," he mutters. I don't answer. I just walk past him, straight to the counter. There's a phone. I pick it up. Dial 911. The line clicks. Then nothing. Not a ring. Not a voice. Just a low, humming silence. Like someone is listening. Like someone is waiting. I swallow hard and set the phone down. The cashier eyes me. Something wrong. I shake my head. Turn toward the radio. Something's off. The music is too soft. Like it's struggling to come through. Then a flicker. The station cuts out. Static takes over. Then a voice. Calm. Steady. An emergency alert broadcast. This is a message from the emergency alert system. The air leaves my lungs. Please be advised. Reports of unidentified individuals mimicking lost or injured persons have surfaced in multiple counties. Do not respond to cries for help from unknown sources. If you suspect an individual of being an imitation, avoid all communication. Remain indoors. Stay with trusted individuals. Await further instruction. Silence. Then the message repeats. I close my eyes. They know. The government. The military. They know. And if they know, that means it's spreading. I turn to the cashier. His face is pale. His eyes locked on the radio. His fingers tight around the counter. Slowly, he looks at me. What the hell does that mean? I don't answer. Because how can I? I just turn. And I walk out. The road. The sky is starting to darken. I walk along the highway. The wind is cold. The world feels wrong. Not because I see them. Not because I hear them. But because I don't. Like they're already everywhere. Like they don't need to hide anymore. I reach a small town just as the streetlights flicker on. Cars pass. People move. Everything looks normal. But I know better. I stop in front of a diner. Through the window, people eat, talk, laugh. And for a second, I wonder, how many of them are real? How many of them were always here? And how many of them were something else just a few days ago? I turn my head. A woman stands at the bus stop across the street, staring at me, not blinking, not moving, just watching. And slowly, she smiles. Something in my chest tightens. She's not rushing me. She's not attacking. She's just letting me see her, because they don't need to hide anymore. I swallow hard. I take a slow step backward, and I keep walking. The final call. I check into a motel on the outskirts of town. The clerk doesn't ask questions. I get a room, lock the door, pull the blinds, and I turn on the TV. Every channel is news, reports, unidentified persons appearing in towns, mimicking missing people, families reporting loved ones returning, only to act different, authorities advising people to stay inside. I grab the motel phone, dial a number I haven't called in years. It rings once, twice, then a voice I haven't heard in forever. Kyle, my throat tightens. I press the phone harder against my ear. Dad, a pause. Then, where are you? I swallow hard. I don't know. Another silence. Then softer. You okay? No, not even close. But I don't say that. Instead, I ask, have you been watching the news? A hesitation. Then, yeah, a deep breath. He lowers his voice. Is this real? I close my eyes. Yes, silence. Then his voice shifts. Something tense. Something guarded. Kyle, listen to me. I grip the phone. Yeah, a deep inhale. Then, how do I know it's really you? My blood turns to ice. For the first time, I understand. I understand what this really means. This isn't just an infestation. This isn't just something to contain. This is something that will change everything. Because now, no one will ever be able to trust anyone again. I open my mouth. No words come out. Because I don't know what to say. I don't know how to prove it's me. And maybe I never can. Kyle, my hands shake. Dad, it's me. A long pause, then soft. I hope so. Quiet click. The line goes dead. I lower the phone, stare at the wall, and for the first time, I wonder, maybe the copies never wanted to replace us. Maybe they never needed to. Maybe they knew we'd destroy ourselves on our own, just by not knowing who to trust. I lean back against the wall. I close my eyes. I take a slow, shaking breath, and I listen to the silence, to the voices on the TV, to the wind outside, to the sound of a world that will never be the same again. And deep inside, I realize something. something that chills me to my core. I'm not afraid anymore.